Hello, I'm Lauren Green, and you're in the strategy room. Presumptive Democratic nominee Hillary Clinton is getting help today from the darling of her party's liberal base, Senator Elizabeth Warren. While Senator Bernie Sanders is still technically in the race for the Democratic nomination, Warren is now joining the campaign trail with Clinton at a stop in Ohio in their first joint appearance. Joining me now with reaction are Democratic strategist David Morey and Republican strategist Charmaine Yoest. Welcome to you both.
Hi, thanks for having us.
So, David, what does today's campaign event in Cincinnati show about Clinton's relationship with the liberal wing of her party?
Well, good morning, Lauren. In some ways, this is a dress rehearsal for the potential of those two candidates coming together. I noticed they're wearing the same outfit, so there's some coordination there. Something's going on. And it's a question for the campaign, the Clinton campaign. Do they try and sort of double down and echo Hillary Clinton's qualities? That's what Gore essentially did, the choice of Al Gore in 1992 by Bill Clinton. Or do they try and extend those qualities as, for example, LBJ did for John Kennedy, or Biden did for Barack Obama? That's going to be the question, both ideologically, politically, demographically, in terms of the choice they potentially make for a running mate for Hillary Clinton.
Now, Charmaine, does Warren's endorsement of Mrs. Clinton, does this answer any concerns the Democrats have about unifying the party?
Well, Lauren, that's exactly the issue, isn't it? Is that Elizabeth Warren is the one person who seems to be energizing the Bernie Sanders wing of the Democratic Party right now. And so Hillary's in this really kind of awkward situation of desperately needing Elizabeth Warren, because Elizabeth Warren brings the excitement to her campaign that Hillary absolutely positively cannot generate herself. But at the same time, Elizabeth Warren seems to suck a lot of the oxygen out of the air. I mean, even to the point that, we're now confronted with this horrific idea of, as David mentioned, the coordinating outfits and playing to the worst possible stereotypes of two women together. So Hillary may decide that, this idea of her being a historic first woman doesn't seem to really be getting her any traction. Young women are not really getting on board with that. But Elizabeth Warren does bring that lightning in a bottle that she needs.
David, how do you read this? I mean, is this sort of about unifying the party? Let's send a message to Bernie to get on board?
Yeah, I think that's right, and I agree with a lot of what's been said so far. I think the question will be, I would vote for Sherrod Brown as the VP running mate because he's different. He brings Ohio. He has a little bit of a generational difference. He has a little bit of an ideological difference. I suspect two women running on the ticket may be a little bit too much demographically, but that's not to say you don't take that electricity seriously if they have it today. Mm-hmm. It's hard for me to tell. I just walked in as the rally was going on.
David makes a really interesting point, because the problem for Hillary is that even as you listen to that clip, she's echoing Donald Trump. He is driving the agenda. He's even driving everything that she talks about. And so the problem is that she's not appealing to white men. She's ending up always off of her balance onto Donald Trump's turf, and Elizabeth Warren does not help her with that at all.
Charmaine, how do Republicans see this joint appearance today? Is this a good thing for them because it poses such a different contrast to the Republican Party? How do they read this?
It really doesn't. It doesn't give them what they need in terms of positioning Hillary for a general election, because Republicans really see Elizabeth Warren as a polarizing figure, as a radical leftist who is very much in the Bernie Sanders wing. So it helps Hillary with her base, but it doesn't help her at all with those all-important people in the middle and the crossover voters that both she and Donald Trump are fighting desperately for right now.
And speaking of fighting, David, Mrs. Warren has emerged as sort of in the past months as a Trump slayer, fighting back on Twitter. She's calling him, quote, a small, insecure money grubber. Trump responded by saying, Pocahontas is at it again. Goofy Elizabeth Warren, one of the least productive U.S. senators, has a nasty mouth. Hope she is VP choice. And Warren fired back saying, no, seriously, delete your account. And it's all this social media back and forth. Is this helpful to either of them, especially if Clinton chooses Warren as a VP?
Well, Senator Warren has to be a little careful of getting a little, no one out-attacks Trump. We learned that from the primary. It's very difficult to out-attack Donald Trump. The guy that can beat Donald Trump, we all know, is Donald Trump. I would say one key point here, when you look at the swing voters, Trump's got to get from 14 million voters in the primary, which was a record, to like 70 million. I mean, that's a lot of swing voters that have to come on, and Hillary Clinton is doing a lot better now than Donald Trump in terms of attracting the swing voters. The caution for the Clinton campaign is, with all the problems of Donald Trump, it's still relatively even in Ohio, Florida, Pennsylvania. A lot of swing states are within the margin of error.
All right, I want to thank you so much. Yeah, I want to thank you so much. We've run out of time, David and Charmaine. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And for complete coverage on the 2016 election, go to foxnews.com. I'm Lauren Green, and thanks for watching.